Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Darian and welcome to the second week of the Tarot Readathon. So if this looks familiar, I literally just ended last week's vlog, but if you haven't watched that, I'll link it up above. We are currently in the middle of the Tarot Readathon hosted by Daijah from Daijah's Book World and Noelle from Noelle Sunday. One of my favorite readathons. I've participated every year. I am on Team Pentacles, and essentially you pick a tarot card and each tarot card has a different prompt and you can get points for your team, and it's all very fun. I love it so much. So I only finished one book for the Tarot Readathon in the first week, so I'm hoping to get more read this week. So I did start my second book yesterday. Today is Tuesday, by the way. I'm starting this a little late. Work has just been I don't really want to get into it, but like, oh my god, it's been a lot. It's been a lot. It's fine. I did start my next book yesterday, which is Pet by Akwaeke Emezi, and I realized this is the first book I'm reading by this author, and this is for the Seven of Swords, right? Nope, this is for the Emperor. Read a book with high stakes, and because I'm on Team Pentacles and I picked this book as my third card, in addition to fulfilling the card's prompt, this is a book I get double points if this is a book I own, either that I paid full price for or got for free as a gift. And I did get this as a gift from, I believe it was my friend Carly who got this for me. So thank you, Carly, if you're watching. So I will get double points for this. And also, at first I was wondering, like, is there high stakes in this? But this is very realistic. If you have read this book, like, it's all about this girl Jam who lives in the city of Lucille, and her parents talk about the monsters that used to live in the city that kind of were in charge of everything, but now the monsters are gone. I'm only on page 26, but they're talking about, like, here, there was a quote I really liked. Oh yeah, so Jam is talking to her father about the monsters, and she's like worried they're gonna come back, and he says, just forget about the monsters, like, we don't need to think about them. And then it says, he hadn't meant anything strong by it, just to comfort his daughter, prompted by an old fear, by echoes of memories of what people used to do to girls like her. But an echo of a memory is not the same as a memory, and a memory is not the same as a now. And anyway, he'd said it loud enough that the painting heard it. The painting is a whole other thing. Also, the problem is, when you think you've been without monsters for so long, sometimes you forget what they look like, what they sound like, no matter how much remembering your education urges you to do. It's not the same when the monsters are gone. You're only remembering shadows of them, stories that seem to be limited to the pages or screens you read them from, flat and dull things. So yes, people forget, but forgetting is dangerous. Forgetting is how the monsters come back. Yeah. That's the end of the first chapter. I read that and I was like, oh my god. So I am definitely really enjoying this writing. I mean, I've heard great things about Akwaeke Emezi's writing, and now I understand why. So I think the stakes are high because this is very much a kind of mirror to our world, and it's supposed to be like told in a way that all the monsters are gone and so now everything is perfect, but like, is it really? And so it does feel like the stakes are high because it feels very realistic. So I think it counts. But I am just really enjoying this and I can't wait to keep reading it. So hopefully I can get some read today because I have the day off. And then I also started listening to Yesteryear by Claire Burke, which I'm sure everybody has heard of. This is like the most popular book right now. There are, I checked yesterday, there's over 200 holds on it at the library at my work. It's like so popular. Definitely like probably the biggest book of the year. So obviously I have to read it to see what all the hubbub is about. And again, this is also, I think I got 3% into the audiobook, so still very much at the beginning of that one. But if you somehow don't know, this is about a woman, I think her name's Natalie, who is a trad wife influencer and is just basically one of those people who has a huge following on Instagram and shares her life with her followers, with her husband and her like 5 kids, and her life is just perfect and she loves being a mother and a wife. And then she is sent back in time to the 1800s, I think, where she is kind of forced to like actually be a trad wife without people watching her, you know, like without doing it for content. I haven't gotten to that part yet. I'm still at the very beginning, but I'm reading that for the Seven of Swords, which is to read a book with a morally gray main character or anti-hero. And I feel like this definitely counts because, I mean, like, is she morally gray? I think she's just like very unlikable, because already like being in her head, I was like, oh my god, But I find the audiobook narrator is doing such a good job with her voice, so I'm really excited to continue that. So that's what I'm currently reading. I'm hoping to get some reading done today. It is already almost 1 o'clock, and I mean, I don't really have plans for today. I might try to edit the vlog that I filmed back in April that I never edited because it's when we found out we were moving and everything got stressful, and I just like could not think of literally anything else. So I might try to edit that today because the longer I wait to post that, I feel like no one is gonna care. But there's also a lot of exciting things that happened in that video. Obviously finding out we're moving, but anyways. So maybe I'll edit at least a bit of that and then read. I don't know, we'll see. We'll see. I love having a day off. And then tomorrow I am going to work at the bookstore, which I do once a month. If you don't know, I go to the bookstore where we buy our books from for the library, and I look at all the books physically and see what I want to add to the collection. I usually spend the day focusing on the picture books because I can read those very quickly. So it's always my favorite day of the month. I love doing that. And it's my first time going from this new apartment, so I have to figure out how I'm gonna get there. But anyways, I'm excited for that. And then I'll actually have a weekend this week, which is great. And now I'm just blabbering. So welcome to the vlog, and I hope we have a great week. Hello. It is the next day. It's Wednesday, yes. Sorry if you can hear the multiple fans that I have on. Also sorry for, I guess, everything. The lighting, how I look, just everything about me. I just got home from work and I was sweating. It is my favorite time of year. It's summer. No, I hate summer. I hate the heat. There's nothing that I hate more than the heat. I don't like being hot. I don't like it. I don't like it. I know this is so surprising. If you know me, I complain about the heat literally all the time, but I hate it. So I'm very happy to have showered, to have a fan. Thankfully, since we live in the basement, like it doesn't get too hot, but we will be getting an air conditioner soon. But like, I'm not dying at least, so that's good. But anyways, yes, today was the day I went to the bookstore that I go to once a month. It was a pretty chill day in terms of work. It's just that I was outside for a lot longer than I usually am, which means I was sweating, but yeah, it's fine. So I actually have some reading updates. I got a bit further into Pet last night. I'm now on page 91, and I mean, since this book is so short, like I don't want to say too much, but I am really enjoying this. I really like Akwaeke Emezi's writing. It's just so unique and different, and I love the way that they describe things. I don't know, their prose is just so good. And we now have been introduced to, it's not a monster, it's a creature named Pet, hence the name of the book, who has come out of one of Jam's mom's paintings. And it says that it's here because there is a monster at Jam's best friend's house, but Jam can't believe it because she loves her best friend's family. So I have a feeling this is kind of going to be touching on, like, sometimes the monsters are people you know, and sometimes it's people you don't expect. I just feel like that's where this is gonna go, and I'm a little scared. Because I was looking at reviews and people were saying like how dark this book gets, which like I'm not surprised, but it's also like, oh, but very much enjoying this. And then today I got quite a ways through Yesteryear. Let me see where I got to. I'm now 35% of the way through. I hate to be basic because I know this book is literally like the most popular book in the book world right now. At least I feel like it is. I see it literally everywhere, but I'm loving it. I mean, also like it's making me want to just scream, but I find the way it's written is so, it feels so like realistic while still being a satire. And I feel like that is how satires are supposed to work. I don't read a lot of satires, so what do I know? But just this main character, she's very unlikable, right? So she cares so much about her public image and how the public views her family, and you think like, okay, obviously she cares more about having the picture perfect family than she does about her actual family. And like, yes, that's true, but you start to, so she has now been transported back into the 1800s where she is now like actually a trad wife living on a farm, having to make her own bread and all that, having to do basic chores, you know, there's no nanny, there's no one filming her, and yeah, so she's getting used to this new lifestyle, but she's thinking back on her growing up, meeting her husband, having her first kid. That whole part, oh my god, made me so angry. And so I feel like this book kind of brings up the question, like, why do we accept for men, like, why is it okay for men to be evil, but it's not okay for women to be unlikable? You know, like, why is it worse for a woman to be unlikable than for a man to be evil? And I find that so interesting because I went into this book, obviously I'm using it for the tarot prompt, like, what is it? An unlikable main character or unreliable? I don't remember. And like, it's true, she is unlikable. I don't know if I would necessarily call her a good person, but then you kind of learn more about her and it's like, okay, yes, she is unlikable, but here is kind of the way that she is. And then you look at her husband and there's no reason. Well, there is a reason, but it's like acceptable for him to be such a horrible husband and horrible father and horrible person. And like, yeah, I don't know. I find it just very interesting how going into this book, like, even I was like, oh my god, I can't wait to read about this unlikable female character. And like, I guess it's because I just expect the men to be evil maybe, but I don't know. It's very interesting. It's very interesting. I'm really, really liking it. I love the audiobook. I find the narrator's voice just suits this character so well. I'm really enjoying it. I mean, it's making me mad, but I'm really enjoying it. So it's definitely living up to the hype for me. But yeah, I just wanted to do that quick update while I could, because Sean is still at work, but now I'm just gonna relax for the evening. I do work tomorrow, but I work late, which I'm not looking forward to. But then I have a weekend. I actually have a weekend, which is very exciting. So yeah, I'm gonna go relax, probably read a bit, and we'll chat later. Hello. I'm just gonna keep updating from this spot, I guess. But hi, it is Friday and I have a reading update. I don't know why I'm saying it like this. I have a reading update. I finished Pet by Kweke Emezi. I read pretty much the second half of this today. I mean, obviously it is not very long. It's like a little bit over 200 pages. I've just been kind of reading it slowly over the past few days, and then today I had the day off. I didn't have anywhere to go. The only place I had to go was brunch with my mom, which, like, that's fun. So oh my god, I needed a day off so bad. I don't want to go on a whole tangent, but work lately has been so freaking draining. Yeah, we have a few high schools near our library, which obviously makes sense because we're a library, you know, and it is mid-June. Well, I guess it's not is it mid-June yet? Whatever, it's June. So it's exam season. The teenagers who don't normally come to the library are coming to the library to study. And I know there's a lot that do come to study, but I don't notice them as much because they are not loud and freaking annoying. So we've been having a lot of problems with some teenagers lately. They come in, they run around, they yell, they like try to be annoying on purpose because it's really funny, you know? So funny. And it's been so draining, and anytime I'm working on reference, I just can't do any work because all I hear are just teenagers yelling upstairs and running. I'm so tired. Oh my god. So yesterday I worked till 9, and like the last few hours of my shift were on reference, and just the whole time we've had to call the police like almost every day now. It's been a lot. So I was very happy to have the day off today, and I decided to spend it finishing this, and I really loved this. I thought it was great. I thought it was great. I thought it was so well written. I love Kweke Emezi's writing, and I definitely want to read more from them. There were so many great quotes in this. I just love how it was a clear mirror to our society and, you know, the monsters of this day and age. And like in this town, they think all the monsters are gone, but you know, sometimes monsters are people you wouldn't expect. Oh my god. So good. There's this one part where, so Jam is our main character, and I don't think I mentioned this, but Jam is transgender, which I think is great, especially in a middle grade book. I mean, I know this might be technically YA, but I've heard so many people call it middle grade. But anyways, it's for young people, and I think that's just such a great representation. And it's so like when she told her parents that she was a girl, they were like, oh, okay, like how can we help you? What are the steps to help you feel better in your body? Like, oh my god, it was great. So Jam is our main character. Her mom's name is Bitter, and they talk about in this town of Lucille how there used to be monsters, but then the angels of the town kind of like had a revolution and defeated the monsters. So it says Jam thought about how Bitter had said the angels had to do dark things, hard things to remove monsters from Lucille. Was this what it had felt like for them? To go against what you usually believe, to betray yourself and the people you loved in small pieces? There's just so many quotes like that where like I had to kind of stop reading and just like think for a second, and I love when books can do that. So I ended up giving this 4.5. I thought it was so great. I'm so happy that I read it. It's also like, I should mention, it is quite dark. There is one trigger in this book that's never explicitly stated, but it gets to a point where you know what they're talking about. So check the trigger warnings before going into this book. But I just thought it was so well told. I thought it was so unique. This is definitely a book that will stick with me for a while because I just think it's a memorable story, and I really want to read the prequel to this, which is Bitter, which is about Jam's mom, and I assume it is about the like original revolution against the monsters in the town. So yeah, I'm very happy I ended up picking this up, and I'm just so happy. Like, not that I wasn't excited to read this, but it wasn't like at the top of my mind or anything. I love when books that I don't have like super high expectations from just like blow me out of the water. So this was great. I haven't read more of Yesteryear since we last spoke, but since I'm currently reading Yesteryear, I do need to do another 3-card spread so that I can figure out what my next physical book would be. So I thought we could do that together. So let me see. Oh god, I should have the prompts open. Oh my god, I'm so not organized. So we'll choose 3 cards. So I'm gonna pick this one. King of Pentacles, I'm gonna pick this one, Queen of Cups, and 9 of Wands. Okay, let me take a screenshot so you believe me. King of Pentacles. Hey, I'm Pentacle. Okay, read a book from a popular, well-established author. Okay, and then the extra little thing, because I'm on Team Pentacles, and that is the first card I pulled, the extra little thing is I could follow that prompt or read a book with a cover that has a matching object from this card's imagery. So Pentacles, there's a king, there's like a throne, he has a scepter. I don't even know, I'm gonna be so honest. I don't know what a pentacle is. That's probably something I should know on Team Pentacles. Pentacle, what are you? Oh, a 5-pointed star. Okay, that makes sense. There is a big star on this card. Okay, I'm gonna have to get a better image of this card because this is very blurry. But basically, king, scepter, star. It looks like there's leaves around him. There's a castle in the background. I mean, I feel like I could easily do the original prompt anyway, so that should be fine. The next one is Queen of Cups, which is read a book that you think will move you or make you emotional. That's not too hard. Okay, and then this is the one where I'll pick from the bottom of the deck, and I can either do that prompt or the one that's from the bottom of the deck. So I'll do that in a second while I have these open. 9 of Wands. 9, read a book with survival elements. And then that's the one where I can double the points if it's a book that it's a book that I own, that I either paid full price for or I got as a gift. And just a reminder, this was for my 3rd card pull in my original 3-card spread. And this was gifted, so I do get double the points for this book. Also, did I say what I'm reading this for? I think so. A book with high stakes. And like, especially when you find out what's really going on, I definitely think this counts as a book with high stakes. Okay, and then I'm gonna pick the bottom one is the 2 of Wands. Continue a series you've already started. Oh, okay. All right, so that means for the Queen of Cups pull, I could either do read a book that you think will move you or make you emotional, or continue a series you've already started. I think I'm probably gonna do the emotional one because I feel like most books make me emotional anyways. So those are my new prompts for my next 3-card spread. So I'm gonna have to figure out what book I want to read next for that, which I'm excited about. I feel like I am definitely getting back into my reading mood since moving and being in a little bit of a slump. I'm just really excited to keep reading things. Those are my new prompts. Sean is finishing work soon, and then I don't know, maybe we'll watch something. I'm currently watching Hacks. I know the show literally just ended, but now I don't have to wait. I can just binge it. And so far I'm really liking it. I'm on episode 6 of season 1. I love Hannah Einbinder, which is like the main reason I wanted to watch the show, is because I see her on social media. Love her. Love her work. Definitely recommend you follow her. So yeah, I'm having a good time with it. So I'm gonna watch Hacks until Sean gets home, and then I don't know, we'll probably do something, and then I have another day off tomorrow. Can you imagine 2 days off in a row? What a concept. So, and I'll also pick a new book, I guess. Oh my god, wow. The possibilities are endless. So I'm gonna go, and I'll let you know when I decide what I'm gonna read next. So it is Monday now. I meant to end this vlog yesterday. I was gonna come home from work and then film a last little clip updating, but then I fell in the shower and I was so grumpy after that. I mean, I was already like had a bit of a grumpy day at work yesterday, and then after that happened, I was like, I don't want to talk to anyone. So I did not end up ending this vlog. I do have this bruise now, so that's fun. Yeah, not a fun time, not a fun feeling to suddenly be falling in the shower. You know? Anyways, it's fine. I'm fine. I'm just whatever. So it is Monday now and I'm here to end this vlog. But before I end it, I wanted to show you, I was reorganizing my bookshelves the other day. I filmed myself a little bit doing that. And now, definitely not all the bookshelves are done, but I wanted to show you kind of the final result of what they look like. So here they are. I think they look pretty good. We got this Skinny Legend the other day. So basically the way I organize them is this is romance, and I put them alphabetical by author, and then down here we have literary fiction, and then on the skinny one I decided to put like book series. So I put YA and adult fantasy series here, and then this is all adult fantasy, I believe. There's some that I'm like, is that adult? Is that, and then there's some that are like Heart and Mercy, that series. I wasn't sure to put if I put that in romance or fantasy, but so if you're confused by anything, any of my choices, just know I thought about it for a long time. So yeah, these are the fantasy shelves, and then I have the little, here, let's go down. I have a little mythology shelf here with my Grumpy Frog, and then down here we have sci-fi. So yeah, here's a little close-up of these shelves. Wow. And yeah, so I think they turned out pretty nice. I love waking up and just looking over and seeing all my books. And then I also organized this shelf here. So this is all YA fantasy, also in alphabetical order by author. So we have those. I have a picture of me and my bestie. You can't even see the glare. There we are. Hee hee. Yes. Yes. There's some more. And then down here we have middle grade, because I don't have too many. And then this I need to, I don't know, I need to fix this a little bit. This is my favorites shelf, and like I think it looks fine, but it could look better. I don't know. So those are my shelves. I also have some shelves out in the like living room, living area, but those I don't know. I still might work on those a little bit, so I don't want to show those yet. But these are like the main bookshelves, and I'm very happy with how they look. It's nice to be able to have all my books in like one space instead of on multiple floors, so that's fun. But yeah, so the last update I did, I drew another 3 cards, and I'll tell you the reasoning behind my thinking. So let me just refresh my memory. The book I chose, it is for the King of Pentacles, which is to read a book from a popular, well-established author. And then that one I could have used the card, it's like something of the card's imagery instead. But I decided to just keep it as is. And this is why I chose this book, because you might think this is a really random choice, but I was filling out like my Herkiad spreadsheet, which if you don't know, that is the hardest reading challenge you'll ever do. I think it's what it's called. That is hosted by Steph from QWERTY. I'll leave her link down below. It is essentially a year-long challenge, and it's full of really hard reading prompts. And I've been doing the version 2.0, which started July last year, and June, like this is the last month before version 3 starts. So I'm clearly not gonna finish this challenge because there's so many prompts I have not completed. But one of the prompts was to read a book, like one book for the last 10 years. So like a book that came out in 2025, 2024, etc. for 10 years. And I realized that I only had one space left to fill in that prompt, and that was 2016. I'm not going to complete most of the prompts for this readathon, this reading challenge, but like that would be a fun one to be able to complete, especially because I'm only one away. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to find a popular or well-established author and a book that came out in 2016, and then bonus points if it's queer. And then the book I chose, I didn't think it was queer, but there's actually a side character who's queer, so that's a bonus. But I chose One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This is one of her older books. It came out in 2016, obviously, and I have only read like her newer, more popular books. So I've read Evelyn Hugo, Daisy Jones. I have not read Carrie Soto or Malibu Rising, but I have read Atmosphere and I loved it. And I love Daisy Jones. Evelyn Hugo, don't love as much. But anyways, I haven't read like one of her older, she used to write more like contemporary, not so much romances, but what people would call women's fiction, you know? Anyways, I have been very intrigued by this. I think I bought it when I got back into reading in 2019, and I still haven't read it. All I knew about it was that it's about this woman who marries her high school sweetheart, and then a year into their marriage, he's a production assistant on nature documentaries because this couple, they love to travel. So he is on a helicopter for work, and then the helicopter goes down and everyone on board goes missing and is presumed dead. So obviously that's very upsetting for our main character. And then a few years go by, she ends up moving on. She meets someone new, they get engaged, and then it turns out her husband is not dead. So now she has a husband and a fiance, and I guess she has to choose one of them. And I'm actually, this book reads very quickly. I'm on page 124, and like I can definitely see that Taylor Jenkins Reid's writing has grown a lot since then. Like this doesn't really feel like her writing to me. It just feels very average, which makes sense because this came out 10 years ago and she has grown a lot as an author. But I am interested in the story and to see like what happens. Right now, basically the book starts off with her like with her fiance. She gets the call that her husband is alive. Then we go back in time to her meeting her husband, a bit of their life together, him being presumed dead. Now where I'm at in the story is that she has just started dating this other guy. And like I have one of them that I much prefer over the other, so I kind of hope she ends up with that one. We'll see. But I am enjoying it so far, so I'll definitely be finishing this in next week's vlog. And also, like I said, her best friend is bisexual, so some surprising queer rep I wasn't expecting, so that's very fun. And then I have listened to more of Yesteryear. I think I'm now like 70% of the way through. I was listening to it when I was organizing my bookshelves, and that still remains to be a wild book. I just have so many feelings about it. It's just so crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy how like absurd but also realistic it is, and I think it's just done so well. So I'm still really enjoying that. I mean, enjoying is a strong word, but I'm still really liking that. So yeah, those are my updates, and I'm gonna finally end this vlog. So if you watched till the end, leave a farm animal emoji for Yesteryear, because you know they have a farm, so leave like a pig or a sheep or something. I hope everyone is having a great Pride Month and a great tarot readathon. And what is my outro? Sometimes I just forget it. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon with another video soon. Bye!